Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Isaiah, and we are here with the yellow Goku Unison deck. First off, appreciate, Brian for letting me do this on the channel because I've pretty much let my other channel kind of just die out. Nothing crazy, I just kind of don't feel like making content on that channel. But let's talk about this deck. It is, to me, one of the better decks coming out of this set. I know a lot of people kind of don't really think so, just because of how the deck kind of functions and but I really think this deck has a lot of promise. It does a lot of unique stuff. Honestly, it's pretty good, and changes the way that unisons kind of function and get played, in my opinion. So let's start off with the leader. When he attacks, you add a life to your hand. You get up to the top 5 cards of your deck. You play a 1-drop unison from that in rest mode and shuffle up. He awakens at 4 less life. Draw 1, untap 1. Pretty cool. You pretty much just want to see your unison top. On the backside, he does a lot. So when he attacks, you draw a card. You get to play a unison from your hand. Rest mode. He has an activate main. Tap 2 yellow. You take 8 unisons, yellow unisons, from your drop area. Put them on the bottom of your deck. Switch this card to active. He gains plus 10k in double strike. Really good. To me, this is the best skill, this activate battle. So he has a once per turn spirit boost X if it's your opponent's turn. For each marker you remove with the spirit boost, he gains plus 5k. It makes him incredibly difficult to kill when you have unisons 3 and 4 markers on him, because essentially he just has a free 15 to 25k combo just by negging the unison. Depending on what unison you neg, you get additional benefits. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's talk about the unisons first. Even this 3-drop too, which is really strong. So we'll first talk about the Android 18. Everything about this except for the neg 2 for the most part gets used. We play it because it's 1 cost. So when you use the spirit boost on it, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So that's really good when you do the activate battle to kind of curve some aggression that might be. Combos really well with this Goku that we play. Combos really good with this Goku that we play. So it's an amazing unison in this deck. But we only play 2 because it doesn't really generate us advantage unless we do the neg 2. It does have a plus 2 marker skill, which is really good. Where you get to look at the top 3, pretty much rearrange them in any order. So it kind of helps you peek those top 3, see, okay, hey, do I want to draw a card first, then do like some unison manipulation with the leader on the front, or do, like, say if we're on our backside, we want to look at the top 3, we see a unison would have drawn, we put that lower down on a totem pole, swing at our leader, draw the real card like a Krillin, stuff like that, instead of drawing into it. Or it can help us draw the unison that we're trying. Really good. These 3 unisons are the only 3 1-drop unisons that we play from the set, even out of the pre-release, just because they can draw cards. The other unisons, they're not terrible, but they don't generate advantage, and they're kind of just neg ones out of hand, to be honest with you. The best one is the Vegeta. They all have empower too, so we're not going to talk about that. But when it's played, if it has 3 or more markers, you get to choose an opponent's battle card with an energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode and KO it, and it gains plus 5k, which is pretty cool. When this card is placed in the drop area, however, it's limit 1. From your unison area, you draw a card. That's really good, because when you place something over the top of it, you draw a card. When you spirit boost with your leader on the backside, you draw a card. If your opponent kills it, you draw a card. It's a really great unison. This is the one you want to see turn 1 turn. The Yamcha is probably the second best. So when he's played, if he has 3 or more markers, you get to take 2 of your opponent's battle cards, switch them to rest mode. Really good when you combo that off with the pearls. So it's really nice. He's a plus 1 skill of getting plus 10k. You almost never use unless you're trying to push for game. And he has a plus or minus 0 skill. You get to draw a card. You're almost always going to do that unless you're trying to push for game. The Piccolo is probably the worst of the three, just because it's not difficult to get the empowered three. When you play him, you get to draw a card, but it's not a harder draw effect, but it's not something that you can just activate and draw a card, if you get what I mean. It's not like the Vegeta where like all your unisons are going to the drop, or you can manipulate it to draw a card off of them, or the Yamcha where he just has a +0 draw card. You have to actually have 3 marks to get this draw. He's the unison that you want to play towards like your awaken turn or the back. Then he has a +1 NK skill. Those are the unisons. This 3-cost unison is insane. He has empowered 3, blocker 20k. When you play him, if he has 4 more markers, you choose pretty much battle cards in your opponent's barrier and rest mode, ignoring barrier, equal to the number of unisons in your drop area, and KO him. This card is a board wipe. You're gonna have like 3, 4, 5 unisons in your discard pile by the time you play this. So this is our discard pile drop area, so it's pretty crazy. He has a +1 draw, which is even better, and then his -3. You choose your leader card. This card and your leader card gain +5k until the end of your opponent's next turn. Their leader just has a free Senzu Bean, and he gains triple attack. Really strong. All right, into kind of like some tech staples. Oh well, we can talk about this. This looks at the top 5 for any with a special cost of 3 or less, but he's the way that we cheat out our 3-cost unison. If you have 3 more yellow energy, you tap 2. You can play the Gohan in your hand with. So realistically, you can swing, play a unison, do whatever draw effect you want to do off this, then tap 2, play the 3-drop over those. He'll have his empowered. He'll be at like 5, 6, 7 markers, and then do your thing. So for the tech cards, this Goku is a finisher. Like double strike. When he's played, choose 2 of your opponent's battle mode, so he combos really well off the Yamcha. If you have 4 more energy and a yellow unison in play, you tap 3 energy to play it. His spirit boost is 2, and if your leader is a yellow, he gains dual attack, and your opponent skills of battle cards with an original cost of 7 or less. Really strong finisher. One of the best in the game. It's Frieza. We don't need to explain this. Been in the format for a while. Berlin's the best super combo to use for this, because you want to bottom deck unisons when you're either pushing for game, or if you're trying to defend yourself, you don't want this in your hand. You don't want it in your hand when you're pretty much dying. Power of the Super Saiyan is what it is. Realm of the Gods is pretty much self-explanatory. So is Vegeta Flash. We already talked about Turtle's combos really well off of maybe a spirit boost off the 18. The Yamcha, stuff like that. Vegeta Prideful, it's our counterplay. The battle card being played is played in rest mode. You're almost always gonna have a unison in play with like 3, 4 markers in it. So this is great. Talked about this, Release from Evil. This is probably one of the best counters in the game, because it is one of the few counters that interacts with unisons. So if you have it's a counter. You choose the attacking card, so leader, unison, battle card, whatever. Negated skills for the turn, and it can't be active mode at part of your next turn. Really strong card. I think it stops the Majin Buu unison if you catch people not sequencing their turn correctly. You can just blow them out with this, and if your opponent is one of those people that are trying to finish you off with a leader swing, this stops that. They're trying to like it and stuff. It doesn't negate the attack, but I think it's one of the best counters. Yellow just never played it because they didn't have good, strong, cheap unisons to play outside of the Vegeta that like would keep, you know what Vegeta I'm talking about. This Goku, one of the better cards in the deck. So it's a negate. You play this card in rest mode. If you have a yellow unison in play, it becomes a 1-drop, and spirit boost. Place this card in the owner's drop area. Which one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode. Additionally, if that battle card has a cost of 5 or less, you KO it and then draw. So it is a negate. They put a negate, and if you combo this off of like 18 or Vegeta, the negate, that spirit boost and either draws you a card if you have one marker on this guy, switches two more additional card or one more additional battle card to rest mode, and it also draws a card and potentially KO something. This is really, really good. Really, really strong counter. Poutine is Poutine. We talked about these guys already. Champa is just here as a finisher for like this Unison because he doesn't give himself double strike, or just pretty much any one of your Unisons if you're kind of trying to push for games since they're all cheap. Two Frieza's Army Reinforcements. Sometimes you struggle to get to your 4 life, especially like on a turn 5, your opponent might try to double strike you. Just need a counter like this. And lastly, our secret rare is Siblings Absorbed. Need kind of just something that's good, to be real with you. They're really good secret rare. I've seen a lot of yellow decks play this because we don't really play in a very high number of battle cards. Like, we don't leave battle cards in a battle area that much. Play pretty much Unisons every turn. You can't really play Pan. This also kind of helps you stop high secret rare. They'll try to play that and warp all your Unisons and stuff. It's a really good card. I really like this secret rare, but that is pretty much my version of the deck. One thing, yes, we don't play a overwhelm. It does kind of conflict with your backside on the leader if you don't time it right. And there's not, honestly, in this deck a really good overwhelm to play. Fighting Against Fate was overwhelm to play, but obviously it got hit, so that's why we kind of don't play an overwhelm right. But maybe in the future, depending on how the format shapes out. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really do like this deck. It's probably one of the funner decks that I've ever played, especially coming out of this new set. And there's a lot of tech cards that you can put in this deck that kind of does a little stuff to the meta. I didn't tech it out like how I had it before, but maybe in the future if I play this in real life, or if maybe me and somebody else on the team does like a little series, I can show you a few little techs and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Peace.